Okay, today's project, well, I don't know if we'll get it done today, but I've had this thing sitting around for a wee while. It's a Homelite C-51. I think these are about a mid 60s jobby, 64, 65, convertible drive. Some of them say direct drive on them too. But it's not a gear drive, it's just a straight drive. It has spark, 77 cc's. The let me torch. There's a few scrape marks in there. I actually got on there with a screwdriver, and I still need a little bit of work to do, but it was really badly coked up, quite bad. It's still quite bad in the corners. The piston has a bit of if you can see that alright, it has a bit of wear, it has compression, and the bore, yeah, there's a few marks on the bore, but might be enough to get it to go. It has the old Tillotson carburetor. If I can get the cover off. And the only thing I could see wrong with it was the choke was jammed up, and the main reason for that was that these screws didn't have, the fasteners here didn't have a spring washer on them, so the end of the screw was bottoming out on that shaft there. But now that seems to be free. Yeah, that's obviously a factory option there. Oiler works, has compression, has spark. I just need to probably pull this this side of it off, which is the Fairbanks Morse starter. They can give a bit of problem, those things. But I do have another 2 units as spares. One of them is down here, and the other one is there, and they're all pretty much for muchness, really, same sort of condition. Some of them have got missing fins here and there on the starter recoil. I think I can get, there's no reason I probably can't get all of them to run, but this one's the handiest, and it does have spark. They have a reed valve under here as well, which I won't know. If that's going to make a difference, I'll have a look at it. But if I can get it to start and run as is, that's fine. If I can't, I'll pull this down, put a carb kit on it. Yeah, that probably needs replacing. It's not too bad, but anyway, I'll inboard clutch. I'll get cracking on this one, and I'll turn her on when I find out something else. Okay, instead of it just being a simple job where I just pour a bit of fuel in it down the plug and start it, no, I'd never make life that simple for myself. I've decided to get it down to that level, and so I'll probably pull the barrel off. There just looks like there's 4 screws down there. I hope this is framing right. I've got no idea if it's in focus or anything. It's just a GoPro 3. And something else, this starter mechanism, which I just assumed was like that, I thought it was like one of these, which is that's a Fairbanks Morse type arrangement, which is quite hard to describe. But I kind of know how those work because I fixed a few of those types of starters, but this is completely different. It has a set of bearings in there. It's like a roller bearing arrangement. I don't quite know what makes that clamp onto this thing here, which is just that pipe. So I've got no idea, so I'm not going to pull it apart. It was seeming to work. Okay, magnet. Oh yeah, so you got your breaker point settings under there, so 15 thou. I'm not going to touch them because it has got spark. I probably will. I'll probably end up pulling it right down to nothing, as per normal. But I'll pull the barrel off and I'll let you have a look at that. But she's a bit of a grey, wet day out there. So we're in the shed watching stuff on YouTube, which is Chromecast. I've just been fortunate enough to score a oh, that's a battery charging there. That little contraption up in the corner there is a TP-Link, they call it, which is one of those mesh wireless things. I think it acts kind of like a cell phone tower. Like a cellular network. There's 3 of them around the property, and they hook up, so you can pretty much get all around the place. It means that the little hut down, oh, you can't quite see, there's a little hut down there where Pam goes down and does her painting, and she can get some internet down there. But anyway, look, I'm blathering again. I'll pull the lid off this thing, the barrel off it, and we'll have a look. We've got the barrel off, and yeah, I'll be able to get in there and give it a good clean up now, I guess. It's pretty crusty. It's one of these open port jobby. Geez, look at that down there. I don't know if you can see that right in that corner there. But she's a real mess. The actual the barrel itself, I'm glad I took it off now because it's got a lot of grit inside it. Yeah, it's quite badly worn. I'm going to try and clean it up with a bit of that double or triple or quadruple zero steel wool stuff. I won't go too hard on it. I'll just give it a quick wipe out. Might wipe off some of this aluminium, and the fins look right. Give it a general clean up. Probably have to pull the, I can figure it, yeah, okay, that's pretty straightforward. This is a circlip. I'll pull this off and give the piston a good clean up. The rings are free. A lot of scoring though, and quite bad scoring on that side. Look at that, that's terrible. But those rings are free, so I won't be cutting down any redwoods with it. She'll just be a bit of goofing around, I guess. But I think we can bring her back anyway. Quite a simple design. Yeah, okay. I'll do a bit more and I'll turn you on when we've got something decent to look at again. Rightio. I've cleaned the I'll show you in here if you can see that okay. I've cleaned that up. There's a few marks in it, a few scours. It's been a week or so since I've managed to get back out here again. You'll have to excuse the noise. I've got the heater running. She's a bit chilly on it. What that is there. Oh yeah, it's got a few marks. It could probably, I think we'll get away with it, to be honest. We haven't much choice really. Those marks on the piston, yeah, they're not that great. And on the exhaust side, which comes out there, they're quite bad actually. But I haven't got another piston and rings or barrel. I could probably get one, and I do have some couple of spare units, but my battery just goes out to start stripping stuff down, and as I was saying, I'm a bit loath to start stripping down other units to get parts out of them. Then I end up with all these unfinished projects, you know. I think this will be good enough to get it to run, and we'll go from there. I'll probably order some new parts from Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. He seems to have bits for these things, but of course they do take, you know, quite a few weeks to get over here to New Zealand. So it's, anyway, I'll put it back together and I'll turn it back on when it's you know, next step. Yeah, that's if you can hear me over the noise of that thing there. Okay, we've sort of got it on. Bit of a mess. Got to take it off again because of course I've got it round the wrong way, and I probably will just take it off again because I might twist the rings around. There's a couple of locating pins just up there, but no, my luck, it'll override. Yeah, you know, old Murphy strikes again. Rightio, I'll probably only taken about 45 minutes to get it to that stage. 10-minute job for anyone who knows what they're doing. Right, go again. Okay, got that on. Rings are free, seems to work. If I put my thumb over the spark plug hole, it's even got a bit of compression. Has it got enough to start though, I guess? Okay, it runs, so the bottom end must be good enough. Runs for a few seconds and then stops. See if I can show you. So I'll do the carby next. I don't know, I hope you're in focus or frame or whatever. Yeah, anyway, it goes, which is good. So we'll pull this HL carby off till it's in. I think I might even have a, oh look at that, there's fuel everywhere, so yeah, I see. You know, I've actually got I'm pretty sure I've got a kit for one of these things. So we'll pull that apart and have a look at that. But so far so good. It's probably been, oh who knows, I don't even think it's been started this century, this thing. So we're on a winner. Right, pull the carburetor off, see how that goes. Tools would be nice. I've pulled the jets out and labelled them. The jets come right out to the edge here. So anyway, I tend to label them because the modern chainsaws, they actually have different threads in them, so you can't get them wrong, but these ones don't. So the jet's same length, same thread, but if you can see that, there's a much different end on them. So obviously that's important, so I've just labelled left and right, high and low. I'll give that a whirl. I might as well take the reed valve out from under here. Sometimes these reed valves can be You can kind of fix them by turning them around the other way. I might be able to show you. Oh, that's a bit different, this one. Oh, that's new to me. That type. It looks okay because I can't see. Oh, a little. Yeah, okay. There's a little bit of daylight through at the end of it. So this, you can see in there. Maybe not. There's a little plate in there. It is. It's a little flap valve that flaps in on the inlet stroke to suck fuel in, and then the compression comes up through the crank. Just straight, the crankshaft is straight down there, and it doesn't let, and then it closes again. And sometimes they're on a pyramid shaped thing with two of them on each side. And if you undo them, you can turn this little plate here, because it's bending more in that way. They tend to bend in a bit. So if you turn around the other way, you know, you get another run that way. A bit like turning your underwear inside out to get another week out of them. If I hold the torch on the bottom there, I can just see. Oh, you probably. I wonder if I can get the phone out. Oops. No, I don't. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Anyway, take my word for it. There's a little bit of daylight there. Oh, what the hell? It runs. How far do we go? Crank looks fine. Pretty clean. A little bit of grit. Oh, not grit, but a bit of muck, you know. But I think it's a 64 or 65, this model, so yep, she's been around the block a few times. I should replace it, shouldn't I? But she'll do another turn. Just trying to resurrect the old girl. Get it going a wee bit. That's from the inside of that fuel line. I think there's a mesh, could be a mesh gauze under here. Jeez, that is. Right. Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to turn the bloody phone thing on. I can't see, I'm using a GoPro and I'm using an iPhone to, there's an app you can download that controls it. You know, when I say controls, it allows you to see what the camera's looking at. It can be quite bloody, oh, there we go. I've got Wi-Fi out in the workshop here. I've just got a mesh internet thing and it's interfering with that a wee bit. Because I believe you've got to hook your phone onto the GoPro through Wi-Fi. So that could be it. Let's see. Yep, working. I don't know if you can see that alright. I'm looking at my phone and then seeing what the phone's looking at. But you can see it's a bit crusty in there. And there's a bit of muck in that. That's out alright, I didn't realise it's probably blocking the view of the camera there. Certainly got like a film of dirt on it, but it's not you know, it's not too bad. I think the diaphragm will be the one. This doesn't look like it's been a part of this car really, to be honest. Well, that's a bit of a bold statement, isn't it? Jeez. It's quite stuff, eh? That. This is a slightly different arrangement. Usually they just have a screw, screws that in, apart from the side screw here. I think there's a problem right there actually. Rightio, well I'll blow a bit of air through there and get a carb cleaner and look around for a kit. I might have to replace that, I think. It's, geez, I don't know about that. Thing is, I'm pretty sure I've got some kits for these. Right, anyway, I'll do that, and because otherwise it'll make too much noise with the compressor going. We'll see what the scoop is. Look at that. I found that in the old box of tricks. It's one of these aftermarket kits. They're really cheap. They're only a few dollars. I mean, it's very close, and it's for it is for an HL, I think. It could be for. I mean, I bought some for a Zama carburetor. Geez, what chainsaw was that off? I can't remember now. Another old one, and they were really close to the. Here we are. Yeah, HR DPZRB042, and I written down Zama on there. Now I can't remember what little chainsaw that was for, but these HL Tillys, geez, they're bloody identical. Yeah, the diaphragm looks, the holes line up. I'm just going to rob a few bits out of it. I might even be able to use that that whole bit. Yeah, look at that. Oh, not quite. That'll do. That'll do, pig. So I blew it all out and it looks okay. I might just put a little bit of Loctite on that. I don't know how much difference this stuff makes. It's probably just bloody placebo anyway. Yeah, yeah, wipe it all off, putting it on. Yeah, that's probably, well, that's about level. So I've got the rocker pivot part of the needle and seat, the needle part of it, just level with the base of here, which I believe is sort of like what you're meant to do. Sorry about that. Trying to figure out what was going on with the old batteria. I'm just going to use all the old bits, they seem to be fine actually. So after having a bit of look online, I believe that the chainsaw, it's a C-51, yeah, C-51, I believe it's a 1965, which would make it 55 years old. I've had it for quite a few years. I bought it off a old fella in Woodville, south of Palmerston North in New Zealand, North Island, and he had a lot of double ups. So I got one or two of them, I can't remember now. And then there was another fella in the Waikato that I got some off as well, so I ended up with 3 of the damn things. That was probably, geez, a wee while ago now. but I haven't had them running. Just that little run before was the first time I'd had any of those fired up, because none of them had compression. And I believed that they had some starter issues with the starter mechanism, and two of them have got, no sorry, one of them has got the Fairbanks Morse cup arrangement with a little dog leg. I'll have to show you one of those at some stage. This one has got a one-way bearing. I don't know if you'd be able to get those again anywhere. I'm not doing these up very tight, sort of just making them even. You know, I tend to do these things a little bit loose actually, and they tend to leak a bit of fuel, because I'm always a bit galley of getting too carried away. You know, like I'm just getting a little bit out of them every time I go around, and that's obviously as the gaskets you know, bite in. Well, the new one I put in anyway. Geez, that one there is, will it ever stop? That'll do before I snap it. Look at that, made to measure. Just give that a bit of a buff up. I bet I'll just give it a bit of a buff up on the wire wheel. I find it quite therapeutic buggerising around with carburetors. Geez, that's a funny bloody setup, that bugger. I don't quite know how that works, to be honest. Just has a block in there. So that's the pulse there, I see. There's your pulse. But this arrangement here, geez, I don't know what that is. I don't know if you can see that. That must sit like that. Don't know. It's got a taper on it, so it must slide all the way back up there like that. I've never come across that before. And why is there two holes in the gasket there? They're okay, they do nothing. Those two holes there just go to two blanks on the on the case, the crankcase or the mounting side of the case. So I don't know whether that's movable to that applies a bit more pressure. just looking for light through the reed valve. I don't know. I mean, I can't see, I can't move that at all. That's the, I don't know, you could probably, oh geez, my hat's probably in the road anyway. I don't know whether you can see that. That's the reed valve in there, but I can't get, that doesn't move at all. Anyway. I'll whack it all back together. Now the reason for putting the jets on last is sometimes to manoeuvre the carburetor to get it in, to get, especially to get around this lever. You can't do it with those big long jets in. I've got a McCulloch 850 that has the same issue. Oh, you probably can if you're doing it all the time and you know what you're doing, but I just find it easy to pull the jets out. They're generally only about a turn and a quarter. It was on the low screw, it was a turn and a quarter here. Of course the high one was wound right in, which would have leaned the hell out of it, but it didn't run anyway. Yeah, so that one there, if you can see that. That's across. The time you spend labelling it, you certainly get back at the other end when you trying to figure out what goes where. If anything like me, you're always double guessing yourself. So I'm just going to seat these and lightly seat them and pull them out 1 1/4 turns. So that's seated there. Half, 1 1/4. Actually, it's surprising how many of these old chainsaws are actually 1 1/4 turns. Even the new ones are, to be honest. Well, not the new ones. I try not to have anything in this shed that was made this century. I've got a bit of a theory about that. Pretty much all garbage. Not too sure about the high. No, there's nothing on the inside of the lid too. Sometimes they have on the inside of the air cleaner housing, they'll have a setting on the older saws. So I might just give that one. I'll do 1¼ as well. That's half. 1¼ Right. I've got this thing made up. I just like to dribble a bit of fuel in the old plug hole. And this is 32:1. Oh, where's the spark plug gone? There it is. So run fully synthetic oil, Castrol. I think it's Castrol. Yeah, so it's not the cheap stuff. It's the expensive stuff, and I generally try and run things at 40:1, but most of the time I also do them at 32, and I think this batch I've got is at 32, because a lot of these older ones can probably do with a wee bit more, but apparently the newer oils, I find anyway. I know when I was back in the early 80s, I was working as a post cutter and Husqvarna 266 when they first come out, whatever that was, 82 or something, and we used to run them on 100:1, but I didn't know what I was doing really. I was, that was what was recommended, and they went like hell, but they didn't last long. Okay, I'll see if I can get this going. Somewhere. Just a little bit down the carburetor. It's got a horrible squeaking noise. I think it's the return thingy, pull cordless arrangement here. Okay, it runs. So a bit more fine tuning and what have you, maybe. Bloody hell. It smokes like a diesel. Fuel passing out of it. Yeah, I see. That's coming out of the old muffler, so the cylinder's obviously chock a block full of it. Okay, I'll do a bit more fettling and then turn it back on when it's going. Okay, I found out that it's the setting in the jet, the needle and seats a bit out and flooding it, which may have been the reason the whole time, not too sure. So I'll have to take that apart again and readjust that, and I think that'll probably do it for the time being. It's obviously going to live, but it's just going to need a bit more adjustment on the carburetor and one thing and another. So anyway, I won't finish it tonight. I'll go inside and have a cup of tea, I think, but I'll bang this up on the old internet if anyone's interested. It's a C-51 convertible drive, it says. So it's convertible drive, so whether you can change into a gear drive, I don't really know what they call that, why they call it convertible drive for. I know there was gear drive versions of this. Yeah, anyway, so it does live. We'll just have to get it all going good as gold. So, rightio, Team 4 Mary, over and out.